you can't talk about generational wealth without talking about life insurance. You can't talk about generational wealth. You can't talk about passing your wealth down. You can't talk about leaving your family in a better place. You can't talk about protecting your family. Because if something happens to you, depending on where you're at in your life, you're going to leave behind income, you're going to leave behind debt, you're going to leave behind a lot of family members, a lot of friends, people that care about you. And what life insurance does, whether you're buying a term life policy, a whole life policy, an IUL, whatever that is, it's going to have a death benefit tied to it. So you can do some cool things with infinite banking and with cashback term policies and IULs. But the main thing, the best thing you're going to get out of it is that death benefit. Because if you die, you can have your house paid for, your credit cards paid for, your cars paid for, uh, leave your family with all their bills paid for a year, 2 years, whatever you think it's going to take. So that is the most important part. It's going to take care of pay for your kids' college. It's gonna, like I said, pay for your house, pay your home off. These are things to be thinking about. And also pay for your burial, because a lot of policies, a lot of people at the end of their life, if they're in their 50s or they're in their 60s, they're in their 70s. I've even wrote policies of people in their 80s. Whenever they get to that point, they probably have some health issues already, and then they have nothing in place. So now they're having to pay $100 to $200 a month just to basically get enough coverage to pay for their funeral, to pay that $10, $15, $20,000 for their funeral. And they're not going to qualify for a lot of different plans. They're not going to have a lot of different options. So that's what it comes down to. They start hearing the knock on the door, and they know that something, they know that what's coming. They know at some point, they're going to have this stuff paid for. Somebody's going to have to pay for it, right? And you don't want your family to be burdened by that. Especially if you don't have a lot of money. I mean, 10,000 for a funeral, that could hurt people, right? So these are things to be thinking about when you're young. At any point, it's very important. But when you're young, you have more options. The younger you are, the more options you have before you have health issues. I've got 2 policies right now. I plan on getting more in the future. I've got a cashback term policy, and what that does, it's a 30-year term. I got it a couple years ago, I think when I was about 30. It's a cashback term, so at the end of that 30 years, I get all the premiums back. Hopefully, I'm going to outlive that policy, and I'll get all those premiums back. I think it's somewhere around 30,000. I'll get that in a big lump sum. If not, then it's going to pay the death benefit out to the family. The second policy is a whole life policy. It builds cash value. I'm going to have, I want to say about that time when I'm around 60, I'm going to have about $30,000 available in there. And my death benefit's going to have been growing the whole time. So I'm going to have a lot of coverage for that death benefit, and also have access to a lot of cash. Those are the policies I like. Term life is good too, because you can get a lot of death benefit for a little amount of premium. So if you have a lot to cover, a lot of debt, you need to leave behind. You got a lot of income, you need to leave behind some money, a good chunk of money. Term is good. Just know that term does expire, so you need to have that in mind. Either be planning on having a lot of that stuff paid off by then, the next 10, 20, 30 years, and having a stack of cash, or go ahead and invest in another whole life policy to supplement when that term expires. A lot of people do that also. They buy the term because they think it's a lot cheaper, and then when they turn 50, when they turn 60, that term expires, and then they're calling saying, hey, my term's expiring and I want a new one, and it was for 250,000, and I think that we might need like 300,000 now or 400,000. And by the way, I've got a few health issues that have came up since then, so see what you can do for me. And I call them back, and that premium may have doubled. And I may not even qualify for a lot of stuff anymore. So keep that in mind. It's life insurance is something that's going to be used, right? You have car insurance, you have health insurance, you don't know if you're ever going to use it. A whole life policy is guaranteed to pay out, okay? Term life policies pay out. It's good, cheap insurance. So it all depends on your situation, on what policy you go with, your amount, your budget, and all of that stuff. My job is just to educate you and help you make an informed decision for your situation, right? I can tell you what I have. I can tell you what you qualify for. I can tell you what I recommend. Ultimately, it's your decision. But I don't talk about life insurance a lot anymore. I don't do it a lot anymore unless somebody approaches me, friends or family. But I've had a few people reach out to me lately, so I wanted to drop some knowledge about life insurance. It's very important. Um, I only get into businesses that I'm fully behind, and that I use the product and I believe in the product. So I've got 2 of these policies. Like I said, I'll have more in the future. I may also add a cheap term life uh, in the future as the need arises. So something to be thinking about. Think about the future. Think about that house payment, that truck payment, all that stuff. If your income was gone, or your partner's income was gone, your spouse's income was gone, what would happen then? Would they be in a worse place or better place? So think about that.